Greetings and salutations, everyone. I'm just going to start on this one here with a review. It's a retro review from the 80s for the Texas Chainsaw Massacre Part 2. Now, I don't know how it took me so long to finally get around to seeing this film. I remember seeing the first Texas Chainsaw Massacre film back in the 80s when I was much younger. And, knowing that this sequel was coming out, but that I would have to wait for home video since my whole family didn't want to go out to the theater to see it. But along the way, I remember seeing some of the marketing for it and felt it didn't look like it was going to be very serious. They were kind of mimicking it looked like they were mimicking the poster from Breakfast Club of all things. So years go by, and I never made an effort to even see it. I even saw part 3 because part 2 was, I guess the tape was ruined or something at Blockbuster and they never had it in stock. And yes, talking about 80s and Blockbuster, but I'm not old. Not old. However, stick around to the end of the video and you'll get some exciting information about a reverse mortgage and more affordable catheter supplies. Anyways, I finally decided to get my hands on this and check it out. And little did I know that I happen to be doing that on the week of its anniversary. So it looks like it's a good time to go ahead and do a review for this one. So basically, this takes place years after the first one. A radio host played by Caroline Williams gets a prank call from these guys, out on a little joyride. But in this call, you hear that they get killed. So she doesn't really know for sure if it's for real or what's going on, but they have the line tied up, which is something that could happen with landlines back then, was that sometimes an incoming call could screw up the line and you just can't get that line to open up again to let you dial out, so the call is continually connected. So they had all this playing over the air on the radio and, them getting killed and hearing all these chainsaw sounds. So in the aftermath of that, as they're investigating this accident or this murder, that's where we get this Texas Ranger played by Dennis Hopper, which is excellent. He comes in this situation because he's got this obsession with the case, and they'll go into that a little bit more in the movie as to why. But so he decides to work with this woman to basically use this recording played over the air again, try to bait these killers out so they could find out something about them. And of course, it works. I'm not going to go into too much spoiler stuff, but the both of them get mixed up with this family of cannibals and end up where they were holed up, actually. Horror and violence ensue, and we get a nice wrapped up ending, which, given the sequels, of course, they'd left it open for all those sequels, as many good horror movies do. So going back to my comment here about the comedy and the Breakfast Club poster, I found out just recently that was completely intentional. They were trying to make their marketing seem a bit more lighthearted and everything. But not only did that not really work for me in that it turned me off from even wanting to really put too much effort into watching it initially, it's really not that much of a comedy. I mean, I really wouldn't think of the film as a comedy in any way, and I wouldn't even think of it as a horror comedy, even though there is a few funny parts in it here and there. But anyways, I did get a lot more out of this film because of the family, seeing Dennis Hopper's character's obsession, how it's driving him a bit batty. I mean, we get Dennis Hopper wielding 2 chainsaws, so there's nothing more you could ask for with that. As well as seeing Caroline Williams' character getting pulled into basically the most stressful and horrific situations ever for her, and by the end becoming quite unglued herself. Now, this may sound blasphemous, but I think in some ways I like this film better than the original, which rarely happens for me for a sequel. Like I said, I think it's a lot more accessible. The first one is a very slow boil. It very slowly builds up, but it does ultimately pay off. But I think this one kind of pulls you into things a lot quicker. I think in a lot of cases when people watch that original movie current day, they kind of feel the same way, that it's very slow for a long time and then you get this horrific action. This movie kind of gives you more stuff going on the whole way, keeps you interested and locked in the entire time. You get a lot of really good gore and action scenes in it, that little dash of comedy thrown in. But I think they did a really great job with it. And honestly, they could keep doing remakes if they want, and I'll still watch them because it's chainsaws, it's blood, and it's fun. And in fact, I just read that there's a remake of the first one that's in the works that I believe is going exclusively to Netflix. I mean, I'd rather see something on the big screen, but, at least we do get something out of it. Anyways, like I said, chainsaw, blood, and lots of fun. For this one, I'm going to go ahead and give it a B. Like a lot of the reviews I've been giving lately, a lot of Bs and As, and I might actually even drop the ratings entirely because I realized If I watch a movie and I end up not liking it, I just don't even feel like doing a review. There may be people out there who like a 2.5 hour long zombie movie, and I don't. And more power to them. Have fun with your zombie movie. And I know people worked really hard on it. Or there may be something that's supposed to be a nice, creepy horror movie, but the entire time I see that the characters have a way out of the situation that they're not taking. So I don't really care for it. Others may, and people work really hard on these, so why would I ever trash a film? I'd rather just talk about the ones that I like. Anyways, that's something for another vlog at some other time. Anyways, like I said, because I got pulled on a really crazy train of thought there. So anyways, before this video just runs on and on, I just wanted to say Texas Chainsaw Massacre Part 2 from 1986, giving it a B. It's a fun, gory time. I hope you enjoyed as much as I did. And speaking of hope, I also hope that you enjoyed this video. And do the whole like, comment, share, subscribe, hit that bell, all that fun YouTube stuff, and I will see you in the next video.